The Reserve is set to make a crucial decision today that could impact everything from your 401k to your grocery bill. Wall Street expects the Fed is on the verge of stepping in with interest rate hikes to get prices under control for consumers. Let's bring in business correspondent Deirdre Bolton for more on this. So, Deirdre, oh boy, the last thing we want to do is see paying more for gas, more for groceries. It's such a tough time right now for all of us. How could hiking interest rates fight inflation here and all these other things that it could affect?
Yeah, Kara, you're so right. You don't really have to tell Americans that inflation is rising at the fastest pace in 40 years. We see it, we feel it. We go to the grocery store. Some reports are meat is something like 20% higher than it was at this time last year. We're paying more for gasoline, food, as we just mentioned, paying more for rent. So really, these increases are above the board. That said, the idea here is when the Fed raises rates, the idea is to tamp down borrowing. In other words, kind of have a disincentive, if you like, Kara, for borrowing. And why is that? Well, a lot of us in this consumer-driven economy, which does remain the strongest part of our economy, have been spending so much. During these past 2 years, we haven't been able largely to eat out, to travel, to be entertained. People are really ordering more and more goods. That is part of the inflationary cycle. Not all of it, but it is certainly part of it. So what is expected today? Most traders are expecting to hear language from the Fed that implies it will begin to raise interest rates in the month of March and even beyond that. I'm going to quote someone that I spoke with this morning, Greg McBride from Bankrate. He says investors have already priced in the first rate hike in March. He says this is not going to be a one-shot deal, and interest rates will go up repeatedly this year, next year, and possibly beyond. So the idea here, the Fed trying to pump the brakes a bit on borrowing, which in theory can dampen inflationary pressures. At least that is very much the strategy. As for stock market volatility, you mentioned this too, Kara. I mean, if you look at the screens today, it's a pretty positive day. But this past month, if you look at the larger context, it's actually the worst month that we've seen in overall trading since the beginning of the pandemic. So a lot of this volatility, investors are certainly feeling it. Although today, green's on the screen. Kara.
Yep, we're paying close attention. Appreciate all the insight, Deirdre. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.